Hey everyone, and welcome back to I May Destroy You podcast by The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about I May Destroy You, episode 10, The Cause, The Cure. I did think it was the season finale originally, but now at this point, I know it's not. I know there's at least one more episode, but who knows how many episodes there are. This is not the season finale as I had originally tweeted. However, it was very good. Gary, what are your thoughts?
I mean, this could have been a season finale. This was a damn good episode.
Very good.
And the way it ended, man, tearjerker.
Yeah.
Tearjerker.
It was good. So many things, so many thoughts, so many feelings. Even when we were watching the second time, I told Gary, I looked over at him and I was like, yo, I'm about to get real in this pod because this shit,
so much to say.
Shit hitting home. It's a little close to home in some of these things here. And mainly when it comes to shitty fathers. But I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed I don't want to talk about too much with Bella and Terry until we get to that. Let's go ahead and start off with Kwame because his part was very essential and very meaningful, but it was small compared to the scenes that he had as far as like what Terry had and Bella had.
It was small compared to the big scenes that they had,
right?
But it was powerful.
It was moving. It was moving.
Yeah, it was.
So we see Kwame, he's back to like kind of his old self, but actually like even more than his old self because he's hooking up like to the 10th power now. Like before we always saw him hook up, but now it seems like you see him texting with people on the bus, or I guess like I believe Grindr tells you how close someone is. So like he just gets on, it felt like in my head, it felt like he got on the bus and like pulled up who's close to me. And was like, that's how easily I can find a guy. Like, they'll be on the bus with me. That's how I took it.
I think this is what he was always doing. I don't think anything's changed. He had a little brief moment where he didn't want to do it because of what happened, the sexual assault. But, I mean, he's back to being him.
You might be right, because the guy in the grocery store, remember, I was thinking, like, what's the chances they're in the grocery store and the guy is in the works there at the grocery store? But it's possible. He turned it on while he was at the grocery store and said, hey, I'm like 500 feet away, and they figured out, hey, we're in the same grocery store.
Yeah.
And in this case, now he's on the bus, and he's able to find out that someone is that close and able and willing. Yeah. So I thought it was extreme, but yeah, you might be right. It might just be his typical self. However, he comes upon a guy who wants a little bit more. You know, he was on Grindr, but he was expecting a little bit more. And he actually makes Kwame dinner, which I thought was sweet. I'm like, why is Kwame turning down a meal? Eat with the dude. Is that too much interaction to have a meal with this guy?
Kwame doesn't know anything about dates.
Yeah.
When I saw him doing all those hookups, I was thinking, this has got to be a lonely life.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, because it's not like he's staying over. It's not like they're spending the night anywhere.
No conversation, no nothing. It's no type of emotional connection.
Yeah. But what the guy said to him, because Kwame starts getting mad, which I was like, damn, I didn't even see Kwame like doing this. But he starts getting mad. He's like, man, you wasting my fucking time. He's like, you got meals here.
He said, this is weird.
Yeah, well, he said you're wasting my time. And then he said it's weird. And the guy said mojito is more weird than fucking someone like instantly fucking someone right after you meet him.
Right.
You know, that's more weird. I mean, which one is more weird here? So I like that he said that. And maybe, I know Grindr has like, kind of has a reputation of being a certain app for hookups, just like Tinder does. But like, it doesn't mean that's what everyone on there is for.
Every app has a reputation for being a hookup app.
True.
I mean, you can hook up on any app that's out there. Christian Mingo.
I was going to say Christian Mingo. What about Christian Mingo?
Tagged. Any app out there.
What about eHarmony? eHarmony, those commercials look so wholesome. They be like, I don't play games.
It doesn't matter. If someone wants to hook up, it doesn't matter which app they jump on, what social media platform, what club they hit.
Yeah.
What block they hit. They're going to hook up.
That's true. So that guy, I kind of liked it. And then after a while, after they kind of sit there and stare at each other, Kwame says, "Can you give me a hug?" And that literally like brought tears to my eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's hurting.
He is.
He didn't realize he was looking for love. He just felt like maybe he felt if I'm hooking up with people, I don't need the love, or I don't know.
See, I wish they would have went back more in his background.
Yeah, like showed that original hookup that he talked about when he lost his virginity. I wouldn't have mind seeing that.
Well, not only that, there has to be a moment where he got hurt, where he was into somebody. Maybe he was in a relationship and it didn't work out. There has to be a moment where he says, "Fuck love. All I'm gonna do is hook up, do what I want to do, and just move on."
Yeah.
Because to some people, that's empowering. It's empowering that you could just do that and just leave the person, not have to speak to him again, not say anything to him. And like we said before, they don't know each other's name.
Right.
So that's empowering. So what happened to get him to the point where he felt that he had to do this?
Yeah, I think it goes back to that first initial hookup with him hooking up with two strangers in a car at probably a very young age. It sounded like, if he was losing his virginity, it sounded like a very young age. Which I will say, and I'm definitely not trying to offend anyone or anything like that, but I do wonder, because they haven't brought this part of it in, as far as all the hooking up we see, not just with Kwame, but with Bella and with Terry. Like, I'm assuming they're all using protection, but I just still don't feel like no one has mentioned the fear of catching something. The only thing we seen Bella fear was like getting pregnant. She got the Plan B pill, but I just feel like, especially in this episode, seeing all this hooking up, I'm like, damn, people are not nervous or scared that they're gonna catch something if they're hooking up with all these people. Once again, that's not because Kwame, is Kwame or anything like that. This is with the two young ladies and everything as well. I just was thinking that.
I saw a meme that said that people are more scared of breaking their phone
than catching something.
People will protect their phone. Go out and get the best protection.
Yep.
Before they protect themselves.
Yeah, you're right.
Because there's no fear anymore. There's no fear to anything. No fear to catching a STD.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID. There's no fear.
You ain't got no fear until it happens to him. What happened to me? I can't believe it. I was walking around all day without a mask or without a condom.
You let somebody catch it, one person catch it and survive, and now people are like, oh, it ain't that bad.
Right. If he survive, I can survive.
Which, somebody said that no one has died from HIV since the 90s?
I don't know.
Nurse. Oh, no, was that your mother? Well, I think she said it. She said that no one has died. There's people that come in and, get the stuff from her, whatever. I mean, you got to give me more, Nicole. What kind of clinic does she work in?
Well, she don't work there no more, but she worked in like a health department type thing.
Health department. Thank you. That's what I was reaching for.
Sorry.
You was in there just...
Well, because I'm saying, where are you going? You're like, we're talking about HIV, and then you're like, yeah, your mother. And I'm like, where's he going with this?
No. Well, I'm saying you just sit there and bell at me.
Oh, no. I was just looking, I was like, where's he going with this? I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
And a little partial smile on your face.
Well, because I'm like, when did my mom say that? I don't know, but it's possible she said it, so who knows?
Yeah, we were talking about the health department, and she was saying that it's with some people, it's not if they're going to catch it, it's a matter of when they're going to catch it.
Yeah, she did say that.
She said that, and she said there's no fear because nobody's dying from it these days because they have so many. They have the medications, they have this, they eat. It's not new anymore. Right.
Well, and I think it's because HIV is no longer necessarily a death sentence. Maybe AIDS is, but most people get HIV and then you can live many, many years with HIV.
Live a lifetime.
They even show the commercials, like, live a perfect life or whatever. Like, they show the commercials, everyone's happy. So that there is no fear with that. And it's not like people don't want to get it. I mean, people don't want to get it, but they're just not scared that if they get it, first of all, they don't think they're going to get it. Second of all, they're like, well, if I got it, I mean, it's not like I'm going to be, like, I'll still look the same. I'll still feel the same. So what's the big deal?
Right. And that's dangerous.
Yeah. But Kwame asking that guy for a hug, I thought that was very sweet. I kind of want to see, I don't know. I mean, not saying this is going to be Kwame's boyfriend or something like that, but I wouldn't mind if the series ended with us seeing like Kwame happy and possibly in a relationship. Not saying that's the only way he can be happy, but I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him happy. Seeing him smile for once.
Right.
It's been a while since he smiled. I don't care if it's in a relationship or he's just at a better place with himself.
Yeah. I mean, well, we see him working out and his muscles were popping, so I'm like, that right there is healthy. It's a good outlet, and maybe we'll see something more of that, I mean, we know he does work out because he was hosting a class a few episodes ago.
Dance class,
yeah,
right?
So
aerobic class.
So we'll see. Maybe something will come from that. All right, so let's get to Bella. And the episode actually starts off with a young Bella. And, she's a child. She's waiting for her dad. And he said he was going to bring her, Mickey D's. Or in the words of my friend Tanisha, she'll call it McNasty. She's like, I went to McNasty today.
Well, she said he's going to take us to McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, take us to McDonald's. Because that used to be a trip, especially when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Because they have the playground. Even better if they have an inside playground because it's nice and conditioned. The Happy Meal that comes in the little thing. You get a cool toy, whatever movie's out that week. McDonald's was a little trip.
A little high C orange drink.
Yes.
I used to love that.
Yeah, McDonald's definitely was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go when you're a kid, Then
they messed it up with those adult meals.
Nah, some McDonald's don't even give you, like, they just put the Happy Meal, like, just in a bag. And it's like, hold on, I'm paying for the Happy Meal. I want to end that little carton that you guys have, okay?
No, but remember they was like McDonald's growing up? And they put all those little adult meals or those little
there's a big kids meal.
No, when they start doing the little like healthy type joint or whatever, when they said McDonald's growing up. It was like a whole campaign about McDonald's growing up.
Oh no. I remember when they added the salads, and it's like people are gonna eat whatever the hell they want to eat. It doesn't matter. You can have a salad or whatever on your menu. People are going to get what they want to get. I do remember that, but I didn't know they had a campaign for it.
Right. They started targeting adults because I guess they felt that adults didn't come without their children.
Oh, okay. The only time adults were coming was to bring their kids, but they weren't getting adults by themselves. Okay. Well, Bella is a young child. She's waiting for her dad, and you can kind of tell like this is like a thing of his because the brother is kind of just sitting on the couch minding his own business. He's not even excited. And finally, the dad comes in, literally drops the meal off. Didn't even look like it was hot anymore.
Just fries.
Just some fries, and dips right on out.
He had places to go, people to see.
So, first impressions of the dad, no problem. You have no problem with him so far?
No.
Okay.
Not the first impression. No. What I thought was weird was that the brother fake sleep when the father came.
He don't want to deal with that bullshit. He's like,
Well, we see later on, and I think this is why he did that. It's that the father is kind of judgmental toward him, or trying to give him his 2 cents, his advice when it's not warranted. Yes. It's not needed.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he was doing that while he was young, also.
Right.
That's why. He was, when his father came, he was like, man, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this. I'm just going to act like I'm asleep so I don't have to talk to this dude.
Okay, so originally I thought it was her dad, and I thought they had different dads or something. So that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, they had different dads because she kept saying, he's coming, and do you want to go, and da-da-da. And then when he brings the meal, it looked like it was just fries for the daughter, and the boy didn't eat any, Nick didn't eat any. So I was like, I'm like, damn. So if I was the mom, I'd be like, if you're bringing food, you need to bring it for both kids, though.
I think it was for both kids. Mm-hmm. That's why she got so full.
Okay, that's why she ate. Well, she ate so much. And
I think he didn't eat because he already ate.
Mm-hmm. He ate the meal, whatever the mom actually made for them. Okay, and the daughter was waiting, and she ended up getting sick from eating those fries. And she just loved her daddy. I did love seeing that, and I definitely remember that feeling when you think like one of your parents are on top of the world, and then sometimes it's
true.
Sometimes it's true, and then sometimes reality hits. So
sometimes it's true. My daughter think I'm just amazing.
Amazing. All right. So
she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
You're amazing, Gary Clark. All right. So Simon spills the beans. Did it seem intentional, or did it seem like it was an accident? And like, did you think he was being malicious? What did you think of this whole scene of her meeting up with Simon?
It wasn't intentional, and it wasn't malicious.
I agree.
It was just an immature thing to do. You can't say who got the most points. Oh, well, I only messed up one time. No, you messed up big time.
Yeah, your big L makes up for it's way more than her 2
That's something
L's.
you should never do. Right. You should never talk to somebody like, oh, but, well, I did this, but at least I didn't know. You know, she been through something serious. And you were supposed to be the keeper. You're supposed to be your sister's keeper.
Right.
Supposed to watch her. You can't say, oh, and she made me lie. Right. She made you lie?
You a grown-ass man.
You a grown man. Nobody made you lie. So what he did, it wasn't malicious. It wasn't intentional. It just showed his immaturity.
Yeah.
Period.
And I will say, like, finding out that his wife left him, thank goodness, he looked hurting. Because when it first showed Simon and him, like, jumping over the fence to meet Belle, I'm like, who is that guy? He looks familiar. I'm, like, scratching my head, and I'm like, wait, is that Simon? Because Simon was looking good in the first episode. He looked like a true... Remember, I was raving on Simon. He seemed like a nice guy, da-da-da. He seemed, good head on his shoulders. He was married. He just seemed really cool. He seemed like a great package, But... seeing from what he looked like this first episode to, I don't even know, because like when we were watching it second time, I'm like, well, nothing's wrong with his clothes or anything, but maybe I'm just looking at him in a whole different light because
you're just seeing him in whole different eyes because this dude looked the same.
He looked like a bum. I was like, who
from
is
the first episode to the last episode. We saw him in to this episode.
I said, damn, Simon is hurting. And then maybe when he even described mama's cooking is good, I'm like, oh man, he had to go move back in with his wife, with his mama. Then he also lost his job. Shit is going all bad for Simon right now.
See, all somebody have to do is tell you a story and they look different in your eyes.
I'm telling you, when it showed him, I was like, damn, he looked hurt. He looked hurt.
I knew he was homeless.
I mean, he was damn near close. He looked like it.
No, it looked the same. As he looked on the first episode.
But good job, Kat, for leaving him. Although we didn't get to see her again. We probably won't see her again. Or Isabella. Clearly, Isabella didn't let him come over and move in. She was hooking up with him for 6 months. But she's like, you can't come move in with me.
Did he say his wife left him?
Yes. He said, oh, so you must have spoken with Kat. And then it was silence. And then he says, well, mama's cooking is really good. So that's something.
Well, he could have left her.
No. Come on.
I mean, no. He left her to go stay with his mom. He's like, man, I don't have time for this. I want to kick it with my side chick. I'm going to go stay with mama.
Nah, he looked hurt. She left him. All right, so Bella's excited. She was excited earlier when her and Terry were like rehearsing for Terry's audition because it's her mom's birthday and they're going to have a big dinner with table things. I love Bella and Terry's friendship. It is like on point. I don't think it could ever be broken. And we see that at the end. But like when they're going back and forth, she's like with the spoons and things. And she's like, yes, serving people. Yes, I serve them. They serve me. I just loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, these girls, I want to hang out with these girls. They seem so like, they seem like as much shit as I've talked about Terry and her lies and, leaving Bella, on that, on the stage when she was supposed to speak. Terry, I will still say Terry's a good friend.
She is.
Terry has fucked up, but Terry's a good friend still. So anywho,
I wouldn't say Terry fucked up. Terry has done a fucked up thing.
So that means she's fucked up.
By leaving her hanging. But I wouldn't say she's a fucked up individual.
I'm not saying she's a fucked up individual. I'm saying she's done some fucked up things. And that was not, the one that you just named was not the only one. The lie, okay, well.
That is the only one.
Okay, going back to what Simon revealed. So we find out Terry so earlier in this episode when Bella was talking about she might go back to the bar and Terry and Ben were all sitting there and Terry's like, you going back there, da da da, like I don't have to go back there because it has nothing to do with me. once again, you could hear Terry projecting her guilt onto that conversation. And the reason why she keeps letting it be known has nothing to do with her, because she's trying to tell herself it has nothing to do with her.
See, I think you misunderstood that situation.
Nope. But go ahead.
She was telling her that she didn't want to go back there. She's only going back there with her basically because they're friends. I don't want to go back there. I shouldn't have, I'm not going back there for me because this doesn't have anything to do with me. Nothing happened to me here. I'm going back there for you. But we need to stop. You need to stop. That's basically what she was saying.
I'm going to disagree with you, but it's possible because it's up for interpretation. But I am going to disagree with you. Every time I feel down from the beginning, from pretty much the second episode until now, some of the things that Terry says, you can feel the pain behind her voice. You can feel the guilt behind her words. And it's because even though, yes, she's not the one that raped Bella. She's not the one that left Bella that night. And it's not her fault that Simon left Bella at night, whether she gave him permission, quote unquote, to or not to. But it doesn't matter. There's that guilt. There's that guilt that she did, that she was involved in some way, shape, or form. And there's that guilt that she's keeping this a secret from her best friend.
I'm mad Simon got her involved. He shouldn't have called someone to ask them for permission to leave one of his best friends.
I agree. And we're not going to disagree on Simon's, his role in all this. But right now we're speaking of Terry's role in this.
Yeah, but, it just made me angry all over again. Just thinking about him. Thinking about what he did.
Okay. Well, then let's just move on. Let's get to Auntie L. This is present day because we get some flashbacks here. And Auntie L comes over to give Bella's mom a gift. And it's funny. Nick, he's like cordial and everything like that. And Bella's kind of like awkward, like, I don't even know you. And
I don't remember you.
I don't remember. It does remind me of like we just recently went to California for a family situation. And when we went there, my mom, we since we hadn't been there, well, my mom hadn't been there in a while, she wanted to stop by and see a couple old friends. She's like, Nicole, you don't remember this person from like 1995? You haven't seen him since 1995. And I'm like, it's just so awkward when parents do that. And like in this case, it was not really Bella's mom, but it's that one thing where like, I remember when you were 5 years old. And as I'm seeing this, I actually have done that to my friends' children. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you since you were little. And they're like 10 now, and they're looking at me like, I don't know you.
Right.
But I feel like that is what parents do. And literally when I just said it, I've been guilty of it myself. But that's what happened in this scene. Auntie L comes over. The brother, Nick, remembers her. Bella's like, I haven't seen you since like 96, 97. No, I don't remember you.
No, Bella was thinking, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know who you are at all. So it was kind of awkward scene. Pretty much she gives the mom a card. And the mom's like, okay, Auntie's going to leave now. I'm like, damn, that was pretty quick. So were you suspicious or did you think anything at that time?
No, I wasn't suspicious and I didn't think anything.
Well, afterwards, Nick makes fun of her.
had to read it back to you like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't and I didn't.
Well, afterwards, Bella, Nick is making fun of Bella, saying like, dang, you don't remember anything. And even Bella starts like chiming on herself. She's like, I'm Diet Coke. It's very light up here in my head. And once again, this hit too close to home because I don't remember shit about shit. Like my memory is so bad.
You can tell that she deal with stuff different.
Yeah, and then that's why I was like, damn, is this counseling for me or therapy? Because I'm like, do we block the stuff that we don't want to remember?
Exactly. A lot of people do that.
Yeah. Because even my sister, she'll tell me stuff and I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't remember that person. You don't? No memory, no clue. So when Bella was talking and just seeing things and like seeing different scenes play out, I'm like, this episode, it was close. It was very close to home as far as like, just blocking stuff out and trying to remember different things that you may blocked out that maybe were insignificant at the time, but maybe have different meaning now or whatever.
So what did you think when you found out Auntie was sleeping with her father?
I was like, oh, that's why the mom pushed her out of the house so fast. Like maybe it was clearly the mother's friend because, well, at the time when we first see Bella, the lady, we were like, oh, she, well, I thought a few different things because I don't know what I thought immediately because we watched the episode a couple times. But I knew that the dad was sleeping with a friend. More than likely, the mother knows or, knew then or now knows because the way she treated the lady when she came to say happy birthday. And I felt like Bella clearly didn't know the full scope of, or she was in denial of what her parents' relationship is or was.
That's what I think. She was just in denial of what her parents' relationship was. Just period.
Yeah. I mean, because 14, she's old enough. Like, even her friends, like, wait, you guys they live in two different houses? She's like, yeah, they live in two different houses. Never, da-da-da.
Right.
It's like, girl, you 14. But you're not 8.
I don't think her mother rushed her out because of the situation that happened. I don't think the mother really cares about that situation. It seems to me, even, in the first flashback, when a friend was talking shit, like, oh, he ain't. It seemed to me like the mother already knew that they were messing around. They were together.
Oh, you got that from that early of a flashback?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get it from that early of a flashback because that early of a flashback seemed more like they were friends. Like they were kind of like a Bella and Terry type situation. And versus, the only time we seen the mother and her again was present day, and it was almost like, girl, I don't fuck with you like that. Like, thank you for the car, but no.
I don't think so. I think she kind of said she got to go because the father was coming. So maybe the father and the friend are not messing with each other anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it had to be years later, but.
But she said that the reason she didn't care about it is because she was single and single and beautiful?
Well, she said, I'm sexy and single, as in present day. Not like I was sexy and single when your father was
I think she was talking about it in the past because really they weren't together. They weren't together then.
Yeah.
It seems like she just have a thing for her father. She has a thing for him. Like when he rung the doorbell, she started fixing her hair. She started trying to look presentable. She put on a freakum dress. Come on now. She have a thing for him, but I don't think they were ever together.
And that's possible, that to hit close to home, which I won't get into really out of respect because it's not my story. But I do feel like that is something that some people can't, like when they have a relationship or a certain type of relationship, especially if you had children with this person, that even though you guys are cordial and you're not together, there's still that hope of like I feel like if the father said I'm moving back in today, the mother would allow it.
But who says they ever lived together?
Okay, if the father said, hey, I want to move in and I want to give this thing a try, the mother would say, sure.
Yeah, I agree. But there's nothing that tells us that they were ever anything but, damn, I was about to say F buddies, but anything but the parents of those kids.
No, I mean, if they had maybe one kid, I could see, but like they had literally 2 kids together.
That doesn't mean nothing. Nothing at all.
No, to me, it's more of a hooking up than the situation at hand. But there's people.
I looked at you.
I know.
Kids with
don't want to get too much in my business, but there are people that would literally have multiple children together, not be married, and yeah, so it can happen. It definitely can happen.
Not really being together,
right?
It happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
And who did the mother say she was? His play toy?
Yeah, his plaything.
His plaything. But it looks like
she was the plaything.
Yeah, the mother was the plaything.
Yeah.
I mean, Auntie was at Daddy's house.
Yeah, Auntie was living there. She had underwear there.
Right.
So, all right. So when the dad finally shows up to the big dinner, they have to heat the food all up again. And this is where like that criticism from the dad comes back in, which you were saying earlier, as far as maybe why Nick was acting like he was asleep when he was a kid. Because you can still see the same thing happening. Like the dad clearly hasn't seen them in forever because he's like, catch me up. You're still in school. Like, how did you not know this? Like if they were still in school, I could see catching me up on the last 2 weeks or even possibly the last month or two. But instead of praising Nick for whatever his accomplishments are, that he's almost finishing school, he's going to school part-time, also to work. And he's like, man, you still in school after all these years? You spending all that money, like, and you got muscles? He's like, I never had muscles living at home. He's like, which was kind of funny, but it was like, leave him alone.
He said, I moved out when I was 17.
Yeah, before,
and I didn't have muscles.
I didn't have no muscles. And then he's like, Bella, when did you move out? And I'm like, oh no. So like, you could tell. And then Nick excuses himself, and he goes and like, like, I'm gonna knock this dude out.
I'm tired of this guy.
Yeah, I'm so tired of him. So I actually like that scene. But then the dad starts telling a story about how his car was stolen, and they described the color of the car and everything. I loved hearing this flashback, but then that's when he reveals, hey, my house was also robbed the day before, and it was because Bella, sneaking in and out of that window. And he didn't say it like he was mad at her. I mean, he sounded like, and obviously he didn't bring it up to her at that time, but he must have known, or maybe the girlfriend told him Bella left the door open, da-da-da.
He knew.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the mother knew also.
Yeah, because she's like, do we really have to do it? Like, or let's not go there. And he's like, what? No. And then that's when Bella's like, what? And then that's when she gets another flashback and remembers seeing Auntie Elle there at the dad's house. She does remember, going through the window because her dad hadn't made her key yet, which is once again his fault. Because remember, when Terry said, why don't you have a key?
Didn't make her a key because he lived there with his girlfriend.
But I mean, obviously she felt like it was her house too.
Yeah.
So that was a problem. I mean, I don't know. I guess after what I seen from the dad, I didn't like him. And then based on what Terry even said, because when Terry and Bella finally meet later, she's like, girl, I should have told you not to trust him. That was hilarious. He spoke too soon. Bella's like, no, he came. So clearly it's like the dad, like that's his MO. Like he may show up, he may not show up. You never.
And telling her what happened. And then saying the past is in the past.
Yeah.
Because I think that helped her move on to kind of fix her and the other situations he was dealing with.
Right.
Because it's true, the past is the past. And she realized that, damn, I never knew that was my fault. So this happened to you because of something that I did unknowingly.
Right.
But it was funny. Said the guys robbed him and he went home, was looking around his house, just in tears about everything missing, and then he hear engine start.
He just got home and now his house is robbed. Now his car was taken.
Came back and took his car the next day. That's crazy.
That's bold. That was bold. That's what that was. He's like, it's hard starting all over again. And the mother kind of looked peed off, as in, like, dude, I've done all this by myself. That's how I took it. At least based on what the mother was looking like at that time. And then Bella goes off into the room because she needs a moment. And she tells her mom, we don't see her, but she does tell her mom what happened to her. And at the end of the dinner, you can kind of see the mother just like sitting there once again trying to hold it together.
Right. She was sad.
Yeah. And I feel like moms have to do that. Dads too, but there's a lot where, especially in the Black community or in people of color, like moms are holding it down a lot of the times and they have to be strong. So like the mom, she can't even talk shit about the no good dad because that would be wrong. And she can't.
Whoa.
What?
Hold up. Repeat that.
That she can't talk shit about the no good dad.
Go back before that.
That they have to be strong? I don't
know.
know.
No, go back a little. Especially in what community?
In Black communities? Oh my gosh. Every time I say something in Black communities, Gary will look at me like, that's not happening over here. Okay, I'm saying, and it's not happening in a lot of homes. And I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's not
every
happening.
Black family has two parents. And there are a lot of Black families that have two parents. I'm not even trying to discredit that. What I am saying is when there are single households with a Black family, a Black mother as a single household, I feel like she has to be very strong and she can't show the emotion. She can't break down. She can't get mad.
And I wish you would have said that.
Okay. So that's all I was saying, because like you could see Bella's mom and she's like, oh, I'm single and I'm sexy. And like she says those words, but obviously she doesn't mean those words, because we see her get dolled up for the dad. We see her fix her hair when the dad comes to the door. We see her not talk shit about the dad, even though her friend is. Like, she has to be strong and she can't even get mad or tell the kids the truth, even now as while they're adults. Even now, she's still inviting this dude to her birthday dinner. He got to come up and just pop up and get a plate made. I was looking at her like, why is she even cooking on her birthday? That's a whole other story.
She wanted him there. That's why he's there.
I know.
Because she wanted him. And let's go back to this. Because, I'm tired of that stereotype.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to.
What's the word for it? When people think that this is really a thing, but it's not as big of a thing as people think it is.
Stereotype, or it's skewing the statistics, I guess. I get what you're saying.
Statistics.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm tired of that stereotype of black fathers not being involved, in the household, like you said, especially in a black family. I remember 2018, the CDC did a report saying black fathers are the most involved in their children's life. And do you agree?
I agree. And I wasn't disagreeing with you with what you were saying. I'm just saying I do feel, and maybe this is coming from a personal place of how I grew up, I felt single moms had to be very, very strong. And I saw it in, of course, a black community because I am black. That's all. I'm not saying black men don't do what they need to do. I'm not.
So none of your friends' fathers were involved in their life.
I don't know. I was talking
your best friend live over her parents.
I was talking.
That's your best friend. Friend.
So I was talking from more of a personal, micro level. I was talking from a personal view. Okay, that's why I said this episode hit close to home, because it reminded me a lot of my childhood. So that's all I was saying. Thank you for bringing out statistics, Gary.
I just don't like how you go there. And
that's why I always say something. There. I'll just say, I'm pretty sure any single parent, whether they're a man or a woman, or whether they're white, black, or whatever, I'm pretty sure it's a difficult job. So let's leave it at that. I won't go further than that. Fair enough?
My baby really hate her daddy. She really dislike this dude.
No, shut up, Gary. Man, we ain't about to have no therapy session here.
We got to.
Nah, we're moving.
Therapy session.
We are moving on to that final scene, or pretty much the final moment that we'll talk about. It was not the final scene, but it's the final thing we'll talk about, which is Bella meeting up with Terry after dinner, and she tells her that she spoke with Simon. And as soon as Terry realizes, they both like kind of tear up, and Terry goes, I'm sorry. But right when she said, I'm sorry, Bella says, you're amazing. She says, you've been a great friend this past year. You've been so supportive. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Right. And I think this all stems from the story her father told.
That the past is the past?
The past is the past. We moved on. And she understands that at that moment, she was the one that made a mistake. She did something life-changing to her father. Yeah,
and that her father forgave her. Even though she technically wasn't the one that robbed her house, she might have led to... Well, I feel like she had a bigger part in the robbing to me than...
Nobody can have a bigger part in the robbing.
No,
there's bad people out there.
No, I'm just saying her actions, to me, had stronger... were closer to the effects, the consequences than Terry's actions were.
You can't blame her. Nobody's supposed to steal your shit, period.
No, I know, but in this case, I'm saying...
it doesn't matter if she left the window wide open. Nobody should have went in his house and took something that he worked for.
And the same thing, no one should have raped her that night. So all I'm saying, in this case, I do feel she was like the Simon in her story, not the Terry in the story, as far as her father getting robbed. But once again, it was no one's fault. But what I felt as far as this scene going, with her saying, like, you've been helping me so much, it's not only just the past is the past. She's realizing that sometimes people do stuff out of love, and sometimes people tell lies out of love. And the reason why she didn't tell her anything, and she just wanted to love her, is maybe the same reasons why her mom didn't tell her anything bad about her dad. Or, the reason why she's blocked stuff out. So I felt like she took this moment and was like, am I going to lose a friend who's been there and supporting me this past year over something she did not tell me? Obviously she didn't tell me because she feels horrible. She feels like shit for not telling me. or am I gonna let it be in the past and let's move on? Because she, my death is your death, my birth is your birth, and I really love this scene, and that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, it was an emotional scene. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I mean, she should have just replayed Simon's words back in her head. Yeah, she's what gave me permission. Did your wife give you permission? No, I ain't gonna go there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, this episode was really, really good. Hopefully, I think we're seeing closure now on everything that happened, especially when she told her mom, let me tell you what happened to me in January. So I'm not really sure what time of the year it is, but I mean, it's obviously been at least 8 or 9 months. Those ladies were super pregnant, the detectives.
At that time, yeah, it was 8 months last episode.
Right. And then I guess one last thing I'll bring up is Bella not writing her book, saying, "Oh, at this point, I'm on a break. I'm not even having to write." And then Terry's like, "Where are you gonna get your money? Where are you gonna get money from?" And then she's like, "Ben, I'm gonna need you to help with the rent again." Like, what the fuck, Bella? Don't be taking advantage of a good friend. You know what I mean? Don't make it awkward when Ben has to kick you out, and then you can be like, "You kicking me out after everything I've been through?" You know?
Right. Then what she gonna do? She's making it awkward for Ben.
Yeah, because Ben was like, "Yeah," but super awkward. He was like, Ben's a real one right there. He's a real one. He's quiet. He listens. He supports. He'll read lines with you. He'll help pay your rent for a few months.
Yeah, Ben's a good guy.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But there's at least one more episode left. I don't know when the season finale is. I know some people have already seen the season finale because I see people talk about it on Reddit. Or not on Reddit, but on Twitter. So I know in some countries they've already had access to the full season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of saw some spoilers. Nothing too big, but just be careful when you're searching.
Spoilers straight out the UK. Just spoiling right. Everything.
They got everything first. This is our show. We get it first. So, but we would love to hear from you guys. Host at theverdictsend.com. That is HOSTS at theverdictsend.com. And we will discuss your feedback on the podcast. Or hit us up on Twitter at theverdictsend or facebook.com/verdictsend. Until next week. And remember, you guys, we will also be covering Lovecraft Country. I believe it starts this upcoming week. It's coming up soon. Maybe, I don't even want to throw a date out because I don't know, but it's coming up very, very soon, within the next week. So it'll be on the same feed right here. So you'll see it in between whatever episodes are left for I May Destroy You. But we're definitely going to be covering that. And we're excited because I don't know anything about it except for what I've seen on the trailers, and it's going to be exciting new show for us.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right, until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.